Today we make the biggest grub that you can make at home, and we're going to get fancy with it. That's right, this thing is an absolute giant. Mondo huge 12-inch mega curly tail grub by Epic. Here's another look at this bad boy. Look at the size of this guy. I mean, there's my finger inside of it. Look at the cavity size. Massive deal. And of course, the giant tail, of which we are going to start today, because I not only have this guy, brought it home from my last trip down there where I got to visit them, but I also picked up the tail mold. This guy shoots two tails, two different ports there. So we're going to shoot tails first. Then I've got some pretty crazy ideas on what to do with the body. Haven't tried it yet, so we'll see if it works. All right, we're all warmed up. First half cup, even though they're giant tails, I don't think we're going to need more than a half a cup to shoot two of them. And I want a classic Chartreuse tail, but I want to really dirty it up given what I have planned for the body. So to do that, I picked out one of my new favorite Chartreuses. This is BaitPlastics in their Premium EX line. It's just their Chartreuse EX pigment. Really like this stuff. Half of a cup, I'm thinking at least 10. There we go. Got that new lid, or that new top on there. Comes out so controlled and so nice. I am really digging those replacement tops. Is that enough? I'm feeling like it needs to be more saturated, but let's put the flake in first. As I mentioned, wanted a dirty Chartreuse, not just a bright Chartreuse. So because it's so big, I would normally put 015 flake in a tail like this, but this is 035 given the size of the tail itself. 1/8 of a teaspoon. We might end up doing 2 of those. Let's see what that looks like first. Looks pretty good. I think I want more pigment though, so let's go with another 6. Yeah, there we go. I like that. That looks good. What y'all think? Is that gonna work? Looks like a good tail to me. Alright, let's get all this stuff out of the way, wipe off the top and screw it on so it doesn't spill anywhere. We'll pull over our mold here. I gave this a little bit of a warm up. It's right around 330 or so. Since it's not a laminate, no big deal that it's a little hotter than I normally would shoot. I think she looks good, so let's get some tails made. There we go. And number 2. Alright, she's cooled off. Let's take a look. First glance, I'm kind of wishing that I had added some small black flake as well to really dirty it up, but I don't know. We'll see what she looks like, and if I just can't get over myself, then I'll reheat it since it's single color and put some small black flake in it. But for now, let's check out what we've got. Oh man. These things are huge. Look at that. Mercy sakes. I mean, here's my hand, right? It's like the size of my hand. Those are ginormous. And you know what? I think that they don't need the small black flake. I think these are gonna work just fine. How about that crap? Wow. And it's got up at the top here. I think this is gonna stay. I have to figure it out once I look in the mold. Obviously this will come off. I don't know if it starts here or if this little tab is designed to go in the mold and kind of be surrounded by it. I'm guessing so because it looks very intentional. So we'll pull that. Oh, kind of tore it there. Should have probably cut that, but that might be enough to get this bad boy in there and secured. So, good start. Let's turn our attention to the body, and for that, I've got a cup of Plastisol. Gonna put that in the microwave to get it going, but for this initial step, we are not going to add any pigment. All right, second cup is ready to go. It's warmed up in the microwave. We'll get to it in a second, but here's what the tail looks like. I went ahead and took that nub off the top. I really don't think it's needed or designed because you can see how much overlap that has. So it's gonna be surrounded by plastic well up into it and be able to hold on to it. So if I'm wrong, but I went ahead and took off that extra piece. So we do need to actually remove this entirely now because we are going to skin pour these guys with almost clear Plastisol. So I mentioned that we're not doing pigment, but we are going to add some gold flake to this, just to the outer shell. So here's our warmed up 1 cup of Plastisol, and I'm thinking a fairly decent amount. This is gold 015 from BaitPlastics as well, but any small gold will do. So let's get it in there. All right, as I mentioned, 1/4 teaspoon, because I want this to be pretty well all over in there. Yeah. Hopefully that, now I'm having second thoughts. Hopefully that wasn't too much. I think it's gonna have enough sparkle. Yeah, well, too late now. We gotta go with it. Let's actually see what the temp is. 340. So we want this to be a little warmer because I want that shell to be very thin. So let's put this guy back in the microwave for about 15-20 seconds. All right, now we're back up to about 360. That sounds good. What I want to do is skin pour this guy, but not down here where the tail is, because we need all of that space for adhesion, right? For it to go around. So I want, if some gets down there, it's not that big a deal, but I really want to skin pour the top portion here, or the top 2/3 anyway of it. So I'm gonna start back there where I mentioned and just pour a bunch in, go around, make sure everything gets coated, and then out she goes. And for the second one, pour that in there, coat it one way, coat it the other, and then out she goes. All right, that looks pretty darn good. As you can see, she's all cleaned up. I just went down the edges, super easy to take care of the overspill by just pinching the edges against the sharp edge of the mold, and that kind of cuts it, and you can peel it right off, no problem at all. I also got all of it out of this circular part, that round part at the top, make sure that we didn't have any impediment on our final color, which we're not there yet. We're gonna do that last, obviously, being final, but before that, I wanted to make kind of some swirls on this, and I've attempted something similar with a different mold, and it didn't work out all that well. I even heated the mold after putting kind of the designs on, and then injected after that, and I still had cold cracks throughout. So the theory, I have no idea if it's gonna work, but the theory is if we skin coat, right, skin encapsule, whatever you want to call it, the mold to begin with, now we can make our swirls on that, and it's going to be underneath of the capsule so that the bonding hopefully will take on a little bit better, or you won't be able to see maybe the difference between where one color ends and another starts. I don't know. I'm kind of making this stuff up as I go, but that's the goal. So the next color we're going to do is black. Definitely want some black swirls, and I busted out the beakers to do that. Let's get this guy in the microwave, mix it up with some black, and start to drizzle. All right, there's our black. It is all ready to go in the beaker. I didn't take you through the color build because it was just black. So we are ready to go. This is cooler. The skin pour here, the capsule pour was hotter because I want it nice and thin. This is a little cooler because I don't want it to pool up a ton in the bottom. I really like to kind of, I know it will some, but I really like to kind of keep the stripes or the whatever going. So we're going to lift it up a little bit, or at least put it in my hand so I can manipulate it. Let's just try one and see what happens. Start over there. Yeah, see the pooling right there? Some of that's okay, but I want to get the color on the edges. So a little thinner, like that. That's better. Some of that splotchiness will be cool. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. And let's go. Yep. Side number 2. Let's see if it gets better. Usually it does, right? After you do it once, you can kind of figure out your pattern. Or your methodology, I should say. There we go. Let's start up here and come down. How about some dots? Can we throw in some dots? Splotchy dots. There we go. Alright, as you can see, we got it all cleaned up. Did the same exact thing as the capsule pour. I just took my thumb and pushed down along those edges where the black was over. Cuts right off and you peel it right off. Easy peasy. But we have one more color to go before we fill this guy up, and that is this guy. Blood red. And I went heavy on it to get a nice saturated cup. So again, we want it to be able to hold up, to not be see-through, to not be transparent, so we can see the colors clearly. Got another one of those beakers, same deal. So let's rinse and repeat on the process that we just used. We're going to overlap some of the black. We're going to be where the black isn't. Really no wrong answer here. Off and then through. There we go. There. Got a little bit of mixture there, maybe a little bit more than I wanted. Let's put a drop there. There we go. I think this was the first one that we did. The last one was the second round of black. Yep, yep. Ooh, look at me getting bold. Holy moly. That was, I don't know what was going on there. I just felt it and ran with it. Alrighty, we are ready for the third and main body color. So I've got another cup of plastic. Get it in the microwave, get it cooking. I went ahead and cleaned these guys up as well, as you can see. All those edges, just like before, just push against them and they cut off right on the edge so you can make it all nice and clean. I'm kind of digging how they look. I think we got something that's going to work for us here. But before we shoot it, and make that last color shoot it, we need to get the tails in. Got my bass face holding my worm oil out because we're going to need a little help getting the tail just right. So get some of this worm oil on my fingers and lube up or oil up these edges so that it can fit right into place. Alright, let's see if we can slide this guy. Oh yeah, just a little bit of worm oil really makes a difference. Doesn't get all sticky on you. And that looks good. Looks like we don't have any impediment here because we stopped before we got down into this section. So that's good. Lays it right in there. Make sure we don't have any plastic on these edges. On these edges here, the flat sides, that would keep the mold from closing. I don't think so. So let's just, oh, there's our plastic. Mold is clamped and the plastic is ready to roll. Our body color of choice is going to be Lureworks Rootbeer. I think this is going to be a nice addition because it's going to look awesome with the gold flake as the outside. It surely is going to look good with black, and I know it'll look good with red. Plus it's pretty transparent, so I'm hoping to play off of that. Rootbeer and Chartreuse also should be pretty dandy. So I don't want to oversaturate this, although we could probably go to even 25 drops and be fine. Let's go with 15 and see what that looks like. There we go. Looking good. Yeah, see that shimmer? It almost reminds me of Sweet Honey. All right, if you guys saw that video. This is a little bit more brown. Sweet Honey is a little bit more yellow, orange. But I'm liking the way that looks. I think we're going to leave it right there. I had considered putting some flake in this as well. Black flake, red flake is what I would normally do. But I'm not going to do that, because we've got the black stripes and the red stripes. We've already got gold flake, as I mentioned, on the outside. So this body color is done. All right, went ahead and warmed this one back up. It's definitely warmer than I would normally shoot. Should be at least in the 340, yeah, almost 350, 347, which is a good thing. We need it to be a little warmer to help those internal pieces bond together and all of that good stuff. It's now or never. Let's shoot this thing before it cools off. Hopefully a full 8 ounces will be sufficient. Can't imagine it not being, even though this is a ginormous bait. Here we go. Nice and slow so I don't push everything around. And I'm just gonna hold, not heavy, just kind of hold some pressure right there for a while. Let those colors kind of blend together, hopefully. I'm really hoping that our shell color takes care of a lot of that bonding, right? That even if there's not a perfect bond between the black and the red and all of that, that shell is going to make everything look smooth. That was the idea. All right, it feels cool enough to remove the clamps. The bait it's just so thick. It's so thick, right? That you have to give it extra time to cool before you crack it open. But I think that it's cool enough. And if I'm honest, I'm probably stalling because I'm rather nervous about the outcome here. So, all right, let's find out if this experiment worked. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I see promise. Oh, all right, that's pretty darn cool. Red and the black. Chartreuse tail. How about that guy? Holy moly, it actually worked. Wow. Oh, let me give you another close-up. See how you can't really see where the black, there's no hard lines, right? Where the black and the red are inside. I can tell you right now, I should have used less gold flake. That's for sure. But other than that, that looks pretty daggone tasty. There it is. The 12-inch Epic Mega Grub. Capsule poured, skin poured, whatever you want to call it. 3 colors, 2 inside, 1 on the out. This is a musky bait if I ever saw one. I know that guys will fish it like in the saltwater for halibut and different things like that, but around these parts, this would be a dynamite musky bait, right? Going through the water with this big old thing just flapping, and all of that sparkle would probably get a muskie's attention. I'm just saying. Well, this was definitely a blast, guys. This was totally an experiment today. Thank you for coming along on the journey. Maybe we'll dive back into this approach at some other point or do something else crazy with this ginormous thing. But all in all, I think that was a win. Let me know in the comments if you think so as well, or if you have any other crazy ideas for this guy. Otherwise, until the next musky bait or bass bait or crappie bait, I'll see you guys